Hello and welcome to Study Club. Today we're gonna study The Tempest by William Shakespeare. Falls in the category of romantic comedies. Now let us acquaint ourselves with the characters of the play. The first page of your textbooks gives a list of characters: Alonso, the King of Naples; Ferdinand, his son and also the Crown Prince. Alonso has another child named Claribel, and she is not a character which takes part in the play, but she'll be referred to further in the scenes. Sebastian is brother to Alonso. Prospero is the rightful Duke of Milan. Now it's important that we see that Prospero and Antonio both have the title Duke of Milan, but Prospero is the rightful Duke and Antonio is the usurping Duke of Milan. Next we have Gonzalo, who is an old counselor. Adrian, Francisco, who are lords. Trinculo is a jester. A jester means a court clown. Stefano is a drunk butler. A butler is a sort of cook. Then we have Caliban. He's a savage, deformed slave. In some formats, it is also referred to as a fishman sort of thing. We don't exactly know what it is, but he is the son of a devil and a witch, so we can know how he's not honored with a human form. Miranda is daughter to Prospero. Ariel is an airy spirit. Now, we shall directly start with Act 1, Scene 1. It takes place on a boat and on a ship actually. It's a royal ship. The royal ship which carries King Alonso, Ferdinand, Alonso's brother Sebastian, Antonio and Gonzalo. These are the main characters that are aboard the ship. And so here we start. Master, boatswain. One more important thing, boatswain and master. Master is here the captain of the boat, and boatswain is the person who has to coordinate between the captain and the crewmen. The ship is amidst a storm. The storm is a tempest, and this is the scene which gives the name of the play. This is no natural tempest, let me tell you. It is a tempest raised by Prospero. We'll come to know about the reasons in the other scene. Master here calls boatswain. Boatswain, hey master, what cheer? Since we've read many Shakespeare plays in previous classes, so we know what cheer means. What do you want? How must I serve your pleasure? Good, speak to the mariners. Fall to Yardley, or we run ourselves aground. Be stir, be stir. Boatswain, high my hearts, cheerly, cheerly my hearts. From this speech that boatswain gives, we come to know that boatswain is a very cheerful and confident person. He encourages his mariners in the time of the approaching doom. Whilst boatswain is talking to his mariners, he also challenges the wind. Blow till thou burst thy wind, if room enough. He's challenging the wind over here. When Alonso, Sebastian, Ferdinand, Antonio and Gonzalo enter, Alonso, good boatswain, have care. Where's the men? Where's the master? Play the men. Now boatswain here doesn't have time to respect the royalty. So it is a bit of mirth and laughter that gives a light heart to this tense scene. I pray you now, keep below. Antonio, where's the master, boatswain? Boatswain, do you not hear him? You mar our labor. Keep to your cabins. You do assist the storm. Boatswain, he's very worked up and he's saying that you are not assisting me, you're assisting the storm. Gonzalo, being an old counselor, he tells him, nah, good, be patient. Here boatswain is really angry and he says it's like this line, when the sea is hence, what cared these roarers for the name of king? This line is really important. We can quote it in many places. To cabin, silence, trouble is not. Gonzalo, Good, yet remember whom thou hast aboard. Now Gonzalo is telling Boatswain to respect the royal party whom he has aboard. He's telling him to remember whom he has got aboard. Boatswain, none that I love more than myself. You are a counselor. If you can command these elements to silence and work the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority if you can. Give thanks you have lived so long, and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour. Mischance of the hour here means the tempest which is their doom. The mischance of the hour, if it so hap. Cheerly, good hearts, out of our way, I say. Now here he is encouraging his men, but he's terribly angry on the royal party, Gonzalo. Now the speech of Gonzalo is really important. I have great comfort from this fellow. Methinks he hath no drowning mark upon him. His complexion is perfect gallows. Stand fast, good faith, to his hanging. Make the rope of his destiny our cable, for our own doth little advantage. If he be not born to hang, our case is miserable. Gonzalo here pretends as if he is able to read he's able to read Boatswain's destiny. He says that the rude way in which he is talking, his complexion is perfect gallows, means the way he'll die is gallows, not by drowning in the sea. Boatswain, down with the topmast, yeah, lower, lower. Here he is again commanding his men. Then a cry from within, a plague upon this howling. They are louder than the weather or our office. Then Sebastian, Antonio and Gonzalo, they re-enter. Now here from the speech of Sebastian and Antonio, we come to know the difference between the characters of the evil men and the good men. Gonzalo was trying to console everybody, whereas Sebastian and Antonio here are just making the work even more difficult. Yet again, what do you hear? Shall we give over and drown? Have you mind to sink? Then Sebastian, in an angry way, a plague upon your throat. So, a plague upon your throat, he is cursing Boatswain. When he says that, then Boatswain says, work you then. Antonio, hang. He is cursing Boatswain to be hanged. You are insolent noisemaker. We are less afraid to be drowned than thou art. He says that I am not afraid to be drowned, but you are. Then Gonzalo is again trying to work the peace, and he is saying, I'll warrant him for drowning, though the ship was no stronger than a nutshell. Boatswain, lay her a hold, set her to course, off to the sea, lay her off. Now while Boatswain is commanding his mariners, the mariners enter and they are all wet. And they say, all lost, to prayers, all lost. They have given up all hopes. Boatswain, must our mouths be cold? Now cold is a word that symbolizes death. When a person dies, his body turns cold. Now another meaning of cold here is, Elizabethans believed that drinking wine made you warm. So if they are dead, they won't be able to drink wine anymore. Then Gonzalo says, the king and prince had prayers, let's assist them. Sebastian, I am out of patience. Now Antonio's speech here, we can refer back to what Boatswain said, must our mouths be cold. We are merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. He is calling Boatswain a drunkard. Boatswain was saying in a way that we are going to die, but Antonio took it another way. This same characteristic of Antonio and Sebastian is seen in other scenes also. Now here Antonio curses him that Boatswain must die the washing of 10 tides. This was a punishment in ancient times. The person was hanged, and with the washing of tides, it was really cruel. His body used to rot with the washing of tide and then rotting in the sun. So he is cursing Boatswain that way. Now Gonzalo is again, he's sticking to what the faith to what the faith said. He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water sware against him, and gape at it widest to cult him. Then there are confused noises from within. The passengers are confused. They are like, farewell, my wife, we split, farewell, brother, we split. We split means our ship is going to split apart, our ship is going to break. Antonio, let's all sink with the king. Sebastian, let's take the leave of them. Now, Gonzalo's last speech here, we'll read this and then I shall elaborate. Now I would give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground. This is an important line. Long hilt, brown fuzz, anything, the wills above be done, but I would fain die a dry death. Now Gonzalo's last speech leaves us on a very hopeless note. We don't know if the ship's gonna sink or will this survive or not. So this scene sort of grips the audience. They want to know further. So this can be the significance of this scene. Now till now we know two significances of this scene. One, it gives the play its title, and two, it grips the audience. Opening scene is really important. We are also introduced to the villains of the play, and that's it. Thank you for joining us. We shall see you guys in the next session.